A lot of times people are afraid of the unknown. In the EPUB world, people think that submitting a book to a major online retailer will require a lot of work. Today I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to publish a book to the Barnes& Noble online bookstore. Please note that this demo only shows the book submission process. I have already created my own account, although that was just as easy. It just required items like your address, your employee ID number or social security number, and your bank information so you can get paid. I'm going to set up a sample book and go through all the options so you can see actually how quickly and easy it is. We found that this is one of the easiest online book forms to go through, far easier than iTunes and a little easier than Amazon. So the first thing that you should know is that I have actually written up a lot of information such as author information or book description. So I'm going to actually do a lot of copying pasting as I go through this form. First thing what we want to do once we are signed in, the address is pubit.barnesandnoble.com, and after you've set up an account you'll be able to come to this page. The tab that you want to click on is the My Titles tab, and here you'll be able to add a new title. So to start, we're going to simply click on Add a New Title, and it'll bring you to the form. So this, again, is just going to be for sample purposes, but our book is Maurice on the Moon. We're going to set this price at $5.99. As you can see, Barnes & Noble will allow you to sell to the UK, and it'll auto-calculate that price based on your US price. Right now, Barnes & Noble only allows you to sell to the UK and the US. This is unlike the iTunes store where you're actually able to sell to multiple other countries. The next thing is the publication date, and it just defaults to today. The publisher information is also filled out based on your account information. So we are the publisher at Funderstanding LLC. The contributor, you can add several options, but you'll certainly want to include the author's name. And our author is Daniel Barth. Nothing else is actually required, so we won't fill that out. Now I'm going to skip over the upload your book and your cover image for now. We'll come back to that. So we have our own ISBN, and I'm just going to copy and paste that in. If you hit validate, it'll search to see if that is a valid ISBN number. All it's doing is make sure that it's a 13-digit or possibly a 10-digit code. It also checks against any other ISBNs that you may have. So if you've already used this ISBN, it'll tell you that you have an invalid ISBN. Our book is part of a series, so I would click yes, and I will type in the Maurice series, and it's number 1 in that series, this book. Is this Nook book available in print? I will say yes, and I know that it's roughly 114 pages. Is the title public domain? No, it is not public domain. We have all the rights to this book. Next category is what age group. You can select from several different ages. Note that if you are in the juvenile section, you'll get a secondary drop-down box that you can select these ages. So I know that my book is targeted mainly towards 9 to 12-year-olds. The book is written in English, but you do have other languages that you can select from. What we do have is the rights to make this Nook book available in the entire world, so that is correctly set. And we want DRM encryption for our Nook book, and we put yes. That is your choice. And if you don't know about DRM, you can certainly look up. It's just a matter of encrypting things so it's not as easily stolen. Now here we come down to a bunch of information that I have already stated that I'm going to be copying and pasting this information from. There's a lot to fill out here, so you want to probably think about this, type something up, and then just copy and paste it. One of the first things is we want to maybe put in some keywords for search engines to help find your book. So I'm just going to type in science fiction series, fantasy fiction for teens, fictional space books, space, moon, astronomy. Notice that it has a counter and I have about 4 characters left, but you can put in anything that you feel is relevant to your book as far as keywords. The description, you have a lot of different, you have a lot of characters. So I'm just going to copy this so we can see that I've written a full description of this book, and I still have plenty of characters left if I want to add to it. The next section is about the author. Again, I'm going to copy this, so something I have already created, and I will paste it in. I'll just show you how long that is. So what we've done here is written a couple paragraphs. We explain that there's actually 3 books, 2 already out and 1 about to come out. And then there's a Maurice on the Moon website as well as a Facebook page. And again, note that they give you plenty of characters to work with. Lastly, for this section, we have editorial reviews not written by you. So if people have already read your book and have given it great reviews, you certainly want to add that to that. You have up to 5 that you can add. Right now, I won't go into that, but we will do that at a later time. So here we are. What we want to do to upload our book is simply browse to find our book file, and I know that we can simply find our EPUB file and we'll choose it. Now I can upload and preview it, which I'll do so you can see exactly what happens. Now the file conversion is taking place, it's being completed, just takes a couple minutes depending on how long your book is, and now it brings up a simulator of how our book will look on a Nook, or right now it's saying it looks on a Nook Color. You can preview it on a Nook. So there's our cover photo, and you can just click through one at a time. I don't like how you don't have the ability to jump to chapters, things like that. You can really only go page by page. But once you deem that it looks good, you can close the preview. And the next thing we'll do is we'll upload our cover images. You can see that it does have some requirements. You want to have the sides to be between 1400 and 2000 pixels in length, and your JPEG image must be between 5K and 2 megabytes. So again, we'll browse for that image. I know that I've put it there, I select it, and I can upload that file. Lastly, what we want to do is come back down to these subject categories. And so now here we're able to set the category where our book would fall under. It makes it easier for people to find our books if they're looking for certain categories. So you would click on this Add Edit. I know that this book is children's fiction, so I will select that. I know that action adventure is a pretty good category to put this under as well. And I can just put general, since it doesn't involve pirates and it doesn't really revolve around survival stories. So I'm going to add that, and notice that it has added this. And so we have actually 5 categories we can add to. So I'm going to stay in children's fiction. I'm going to scroll down, and maybe I will find the science fiction subcategory, and note that you can't drill down any further, which is fine. I'm going to add that category, which adds it, and I can add, again, 3 more categories. And I will just save this. And that is it. Once I am done, all I have to do is hit the save button and it'll save it, and I can always come back to it at that point and make any kind of edits. Once I know for sure that I am completely done, I'm satisfied with every piece of information, I can then select this box to confirm everything, and then I can put it on sale. I won't click that since this is just a test file. However, in our experience, it took, for our very first book, it took 5 business days from the time we submitted this book to the time it was actually posted on the Barnes & Noble website. So that's pretty impressive. It's not a long time, and we now have our book for people to buy. So hopefully this helped. Obviously this took 10 minutes or so to do, but if you're prepared, you can get through this form in probably 5 minutes or so.